Okay, well, I like your hopeful tone on that, but something's got to give for that to happen. So issue number 2 is LRT dead, Loren. We talked a bit about it in the last segment, but let's look at a cartoon, which I think really resonated. A picture says 1,000 words, and this is another incredible Graham Mackay cartoon. We'll have a look at that now, and I think it summed up for many people what's actually happened between LRT and the buses. Do we have that? Okay, so basically you can see from looking at the cartoon that the LRT plan got run over by a bus, right? It got thrown under the bus, I guess is the way of putting it. Do you think that all this confusion and now the plan being put forward, the 10-year transit plan by our new transit chief, Dixon, do you think that in fact LRT is dead?
I don't, and I don't feel that way because I've been speaking to the province about this issue, and they seem, to me, pretty clear. It's not that confusing at all. This is how much money we have allocated for you. You identify your needs, you identify your timelines, and then make it so. But they're not paying for all of it. They never were going to pay for all of it.
Right.
The $800 million commitment to the $1.1 billion project, like, it never was that. And just because different municipalities had different deals, first of all, we don't even know what anybody's deal is because we can't even identify what an LRT cost is. We need, aside from a $200 million barn to put them in, we need to enhance our transit now.
Right.
And that's going to help make the case for LRT.
So I agree with you. LRT is not dead. I think the biggest problem is the way that council has handled this, because as I mentioned, other municipalities did it in a two-step process. It's not like the Premier and Metrolinx aren't aware of the discussion here locally and what the needs are. They want capacity in all of the cities in the GTHA. They want to be able to connect it to GO service. They want to have a better mobility and just-in-time delivery and all these other considerations, multimodal. They want all of that. I mean, that's the whole point of the big move, right? So it's not as though Hamilton is out on an island and nobody wants to help us. We're part of a larger transit connection, and LRT may well still be a piece of that vision, but it takes council to actually have a vision to reinforce that. Is that a fair statement?
Well, I also think that just because other municipalities got ready before us doesn't mean that we're not going to get it.
Right.
We are not ready, not in terms of my opinion, but in terms of the
capacity.
Right, and the criteria that the city and province have acknowledged, that Metrolinx says that we do not have enough people taking public transit to warrant an LRT now.
But that doesn't mean that we can't have it as an interim and a long-term step.
Of course.
Do this, then that.
Of course, but it's difficult when you are making decisions on 4-year blocks to think about 10 years from now.
Right.
And the hardcore LRT wanters and supporters want it yesterday.
And the people who are hardcore against it don't want it at all.
Want it never.
So what we need is some good, logical, evidence-based, middle-of-the-road thinking.
Which is what you get on this television
Based
show.
on City Vision. Okay. Issue number 3, Shovegate. Has it gone away, or has it just morphed into more of a verbal sparring crisis than before?